Think International coming at you, bringing you the best and brightest leaders in their field. I'm here with Dr. Increase, Bob Harrison, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, Bob?
It's good to be with you, yes.
Now, you've been in business, in kind of business ministry for a long time now, is that correct?
Yeah, business for 16 years and in ministry for 27 years, but all the time I've been in ministry, I've also been in business.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
wow. So you've seen the ups and the downs of the economy and the business flow and everything, huh?
Well, that's one thing many times people forget, is that life is a collection of seasons, and seasons are going to change.
Right.
And so often we make investments or get strategies, and we think, oh, this is really working, and we fail to recognize this season's going to end, and a new season's going to begin, and so that's how come many people have problems financially.
So in this present season, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs or like new entrepreneurs who are venturing out and starting a business or even starting a ministry at this present time?
You know, I don't know that I could give one set of advice to everybody. Sure. Because it depends what's their level of faith, what's their economics, what's their credit, how much fear or how much faith do they have. I mean, there's a lot of variables. But for the person that is programmed right, for the person that has taken time to get knowledge, the person has taken time to build up their faith in themselves and in God's Word. When times are bad is the greatest times of opportunity. People that really get rich are people that run counterculture. When what is around them is in fear, they're in faith. And because of that, they get great opportunities. The greatest opportunities in my life have been when things were bad and the news was bad and the reports were bad. But God showed me in the middle of the negative was a positive. And I would take that positive and begin to build on it. So I would say to people, insulate yourself from the negative. That doesn't mean ignore it. That doesn't mean pretend it doesn't exist. But restrict how much negative you get. And then increase the positive input and be looking for opportunities. And you'll find opportunities out there in the middle of this season that can cause you to just really accelerate and take off.
Now, for somebody that's in the midst of business and is experiencing hard times, the economic hardship, would you pretty much say the same thing to them? Begin to try to find the positive, or?
Yeah, absolutely. In the midst of anything, there's something to grab a hold of, something to the positive to build on. But what happens is we get so wrapped up in the problem, so wrapped up in the negative. I was talking to a marriage counselor, one of the top people around in the nation recently, and he said the reason so many affairs end is that they have 80 or 90% of what's right, 10% that isn't perfect, and they focus on the 10% that isn't perfect and abandon the 80 or 90% that's good. And he said, what we have to do even to make a marriage successful is focus on what is good. And I would say that to anybody. And if we do that, we're going to have a different mindset, a different spirit than people around us. And maybe for some, we do have to make a change. I'm not just saying sit at your desk and don't do anything different and be positive. I'm going to be positive. Oftentimes we have to change timing or location or thinking or whatever it might be. I'm open to change, but I believe that in the midst of any environment, I can prosper and I can be successful and I can overcome.
What right now are you currently listening to, reading? Like, I don't know if you listen to podcasts or, you talk about who rides in the car with you. Or are there certain people that you would suggest out there that they listen to, of course, besides yourself?
I would say we have incredible teaching on CDs. I mean, an MP3 downloads, and people can get that on increase.org. But I myself right now, I am going through listening to my teachers from my Increase events.
Oh yeah,
Because when you put on an event, your mind isn't all there. You're not just sitting like the others, being able to, and we have people like, Myles Munroe and John Bevere and some great business leaders. And I'm going through re-listening to their teaching right now and getting re-inspired because I'm coming up to an event, of my own soon.
Soon. Now, when is that for the people out there?
I don't know when you're going to air this, but we do 2 events a year. We do every March in Hawaii. We have leaders and achievers that come from all over the world to that. And then we do a mainland event, which alternates each year between California and Florida. So this year's California, next year will be Fort Lauderdale.
Palm Springs, right?
Palm Springs.
I've been to the Hawaii one. Incredible. If you guys can get to one of Bob Harrison's Increase events, go. It's unreal. Now, one last question, probably the most important question of the evening. Who do you think would win in a fight, Braveheart or Maximus from Gladiator?
I have no idea. It depends on where the fight takes place. I use that in one of my seminars when we teach on the importance of environment. And I say, in a fight between an alligator and a bear, who's going to win. And it depends on where the fight. If it's in water, the alligator. If it's on land, the bear. So it's important you do your battles in the right environment.
Yeah, there you go. So it's still up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know Braveheart or Gladiator. We're not sure. Hey, thank you so much, Bob. It's been a pleasure and incredible, unreal.